Have they even killed 1 million? In the last 30 years? No, I'll tell you. If you go to the archives of all the newspapers for the last 20 years, you'll not find even 45,000 people who have been killed by so-called terrorists. Now you add 45,000 to 487 million, and there we have the equation of terrorism. Now, what is the history of this condition, Muslims? I'll give you the history quickly. One, the history of this frustration that forces Muslims, that have forced certain Muslims to act in this way. One, protracted colonialism. Number two, after the colonialism, repression and tyranny by the post-colonialist appointed puppets, leaders of Muslim countries, who themselves accepted the bribes to repress their people and to fill their own pockets. Political domination and economic exploitation, incursion and occupation of the Muslim lands, systematic assassination and imprisonment of the Muslim scholars and inspirational activists, suppression of religion and categorical condemnation and indictment against the Islamic movement. This is the history behind this frustration. Now, what can we do? What can we do as Muslims? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said in the Quran, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْمَرْحَمَةِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِهِ صَفًّا كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ مَرْصُوصٌ. All the answers are there. What can we do? We Muslims must make ta'awan. We must make ta'awan on this issue. We have to. If a Muslim is placed in prison and there is no evidence that we have seen, we have to support him or her. We cannot say, he must have done something wrong, she must have done something wrong, because then we can go to sleep and eat our own food and enjoy ourselves and forget that Muslim. No, we have to say, they must be innocent, because the rule, even in the Western world, is that a person is innocent until what? Proven guilty. So if a Muslim is taken from their home or off of the street and they are held for suspicion of anything, we Muslims have to feel like our finger has been cut off, like someone has stepped upon our chest, like someone has snatched our son or our daughter, and we will be at the police station, we will be calling, we will be asking and crying and begging, and the least we will do is to get a lawyer. But because it's not our son, because it's not our daughter, and we don't have to see them physically, we say nothing. Oh, Muslims, are we guilty just because we're Muslim? And what will you wait? Will you wait until you wake up one morning and a knock comes to your door and you are pulled out of your house and separated from your wife and your children, and then you are put inside the prisons? And Muslims, will you wait until thousands of you, because it can happen at any time? You say, not in Australia, not in America, not in Great Britain, Not in the home of the free, the land, not in the home of the brave and the land of the free, not in the land of democracy, not in the land of individual dignity. This cannot happen. It is happening. It is happening right in front of you. But because it's only happening one by one by one by one, and you have to go to work in the morning, and you have to take care of your own business, and you have to mind your business. That brother or sister, may Allah help them, inshallah. And we go about our business. It will be your son, it will be your grandson, it will be you, it will be Khalid. You will hear about it. Maybe Khalid will be stopped, and Khalid will be put in the prison, and you will say, oh, what did he do? And then what you will do? MashaAllah, Subhanallah, shake your head, and Khalid is forgotten. You say, no, brother, we would not do that. But this is what you're doing, and this is what we are doing. We have to support a Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ said, a Muslim is the brother of a Muslim, and he never leaves him to be oppressed by another Muslim. We have to spend our money. We have to spend our time. We have to raise our voice. We have to spend some energy. We have to lose some night's sleep. We have to make some phone calls. We have to sign something. We have to ask something. What can I do? So that when you go to sleep at night, you can say to yourself, oh Allah, I did something. Oh Allah, I tried. I spent my money. Oh Allah, I sold something. Oh Allah, I went called a lawyer. Oh Allah, I stood up outside that court. Oh Allah, I went there. Oh Allah, I called about that brother. I wrote letters. Oh Allah, I took care of their family. Oh Allah, I did something. And oh Allah, but I didn't do enough. Oh Allah, you forgive me. But what can we say if we didn't do that, brothers? We have to make ta'awun. We have to join together. And we're not talking about Pakistani Muslims supporting Pakistani prisoner. We're not talking about Somali Muslims looking into the life or what has happened to a Somali Muslim. We're not talking about an Arab Muslim, Lebanese Muslim looking to the affairs of a Lebanese prisoner. We're talking about a Muslim looking into the condition of his Muslim brother. What the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. لا يؤمن, he said. You're not a Muslim, not a real Muslim, if you don't love for your brother what you love for yourself. You love freedom, you love your home, you love to eat your own food, you love to look at your children at night, you love to be with your wife, you love to move around, to say what you want to say, you like peaceful tranquility, you like your life to be continued, you like to be away from. If you like that for yourself, how we go to sleep and not support our brothers? Secondly, Muslims, we have to make ribat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Usbiru wa sabiru wa rabitu. Usbiru wa sabiru wa rabitu. What this means? It means be patient with a tremendous amount of patience and tolerance, but also gather yourselves together, bind yourselves together, collect your resources, your material resources, your spiritual resources. Be behind a leader of Muslims. Put your money together. Put it in a trust together. Live together around your masjids. Form your communities. Do what all other people are doing. Love each other, protect each other, live next to each other, support each other, swear by each other. Live, support, and die for each other. Because if you don't do it, you will fade away, and Allah will replace you with another people. And as we sit here today, brothers, I want you to know this. The Muslims are being replaced as you sit here today. Between Australia and Great Britain and North America, 118,000 people are accepting Islam every year. 118,000 people are accepting Islam every year. Double the amount which was accepting Islam before September 11th. Before September 11th, about 62,000 people was accepting Islam between North America and Europe and UK and Australia. After September the 11th, that number has went up to on an average of 118,000. What is the reason? It is not because Muslims are giving more da'wah. It's because Allah has opened the window, and that window will never be closed again. We don't say that we like or we support September 11th. No Muslim would say that in his right mind, even though I don't believe any Muslim had something to do with that. I want to go on record to tell the Muslims, don't take the rap for that. If some Muslims were involved, they were not the ones who really executed and orchestrated that action. There is clear evidence now to show that Muslims could never have orchestrated that kind of action. But if some Muslims was involved at all, they were compromised, and it was orchestrated and carried out by a rogue operation. Nevertheless, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَعَالٌ لِمَا يُرِيدُ, He's the doer of whatever He wants to do, and to send signs and ripples through the heavens and the earth. And after September the 11th, the window to Islam has been opened wider than it has ever been opened, and it will never close again. And when we talk about media, this is the last thing I want to say to you. We have been assaulted by the media. We have been slandered by the media. We have been put in prison in our own homes by the media. We have been traumatized by the media, and there's nothing we can do about it because we have no media of our own. Well, brothers and sisters, that time has changed. Alhamdulillah, I'm telling you now that in August we are breaking the ground, alhamdulillah, not for a channel. A year and a half we were here in Australia talking about a channel, is it, Sheikh? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometime when you ask for something, be careful. Because you ask for a cup, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives you a river. We are breaking the ground for the Islamic Broadcast Center, which will have and host 50 channels. We will break the ground for it, our own building, and we will host 50 channels and 5 FM radio stations. And therefore we will be able to offer, the Islamic Broadcast Corporation will be able to offer any Muslims from in the world who want us to host their signal based on our mission statement, 50 satellite channels. And we will share this information with you if you want to, inshallah. Before we leave Australia, we will have a presentation, an invitational presentation. And if you like to come, and if you like to see and support, you will have the opportunity to do so. O Muslims, in the meantime, have sabr. Don't be angry. Don't be foolish. Don't be criminals. Don't be reactionaries. Don't talk like